Hello everybody, Loki for Life here, bringing you guys another Yu-Gi-Oh card lore video, and holy crap, I have a lot of tabs. That is because we're going to be going over a lot of cards, talking about the card itself and its Norse mythology counterpart. I can't wait to talk about this honestly because I'm a big fan of Norse mythology, and I love the Nordic deck, and I just wish that it was better than, than what it actually is. Alright, so let's go on and get into this. First of all, we're going to talk about Finir. Well, sorry guys, my thing is going crazy. First of all, we're going to talk about Finir, the Nordic wolf. Finir is he's a child of Loki. Yes, that's right, Loki. This is one of his kids. He has three: Finir, Hel, and Jormungandr. Now, then, Finir is known to be as the biggest wolf in like the world. He is foretold to kill the god Odin. Yeah, that's right. This wolf is supposed to kill Odin during the events of Ragnarok, but in turn will be killed by Odin's son Viorar. I'm pretty sure I messed it up. The gods now it's the prophecy foretelling about the trouble Finir and his rapid growths. Growth. The gods bound him as a result of Finir biting off the right hand of the god Tyr. Depictions of Finir have often been identified on various objects, and scholarly theories have been proposed regarding Finir's relation to canine beings in Norse mythology. He is often very much in he's often seen in art and stuff. In short, this is a big bad wolf that you don't want to mess with, and this thing is supposed to kill a god. Not only just any god, but Odin, which is the equivalent of Zeus in this in the Norse mythology. And then we're going to go on to Loki's other kid. Well, one of his other kids. Sadly, Hel does not have a Yu-Gi-Oh card equivalent. So now Jormungandr is the other son of Loki. Jormungandr, which by the way is Norse for huge monster, often written as various other things, Jormungand, and also he is known as the Midgard Serpent, or a world serpent. He is the middle child of Loki, and Angerbola. Sorry, I really don't know how to pronounce some of these words. According to the Process Edda, Odin took Loki's three children by Argembora, the wolf Finir, Hel, and Jormungandr, and tossed Jormungandr into the Great Ocean, so that encircles Midgard, which is basically Earth. The serpent grew so large that he was able to surround the entire Earth and grasp his own tail. As a result, he received the name Midgard Serpent or World Serpent. When he lets go, the world will end. So basically, this thing causes Ragnarok. Now, according to Norse mythology, Ragnarok, by the way, is the end of the world. And in more specific, it's got all sorts of stages. Basically, it starts off with a 2-year-long winter across the entire Earth, and the whole thing ends with all the gods dead and Thor and Jormungandr fighting each other. And according to mythology, Thor kills Jormungandr, but however he dies from Jormungandr's venom, which basically results in everybody dead, which isn't really all that happy of an ending for Norse mythology, but hey, it's pretty epic. Anyway, so now we're going to talk about the smaller dudes. Mara, the Nordic Athlor. Really the only good tuner from the Nordic Athlor, sadly. So what is Mara in Nordic mythology? Well, he's an evil spirit that rides on people's chests while they sleep, bringing on bad dreams. He is similar to the succubus or incubus, which brings on different dreams and stuff to people that sleep. I find this interesting. I didn't actually notice, so I did this research for this video. Mara, again, he's the only good tuner for the deck. But however, I'm really honestly surprised about that. But however, looking at the thing, I can see how this thing does cause nightmares. I mean, just imagine if you saw this flying on your chest. Alright, next up is actually my favorite card in the archetype, and mostly because of various different things, because Valkyries are just really, really awesome. They're basically angels. Basically, what Valkyries are is whenever there's a big battle going on, or any battle really, a Valkyrie, and by the way, there's more than one, they come down from Valhalla and select half of, well, they select people in that fight. Basically, they choose who dies and who lives. And half of the people who they choose who die go to Valhalla, the other half goes to some other place that we'll get into later. Um, Basically, the people who go to Valhalla get to drink and be merry until Ragnarok, where they are basically going to participate in the events and fight again for glorious awesomeness and stuff. But however, when they're not doing that, Valkyries keep them busy there. They often appear as lovers of heroes and other mortals, and they are sometimes described as the daughters of royalty, sometimes accompanied by ravens, and sometimes connected to swans or horses. Very interesting stuff, and by the way, I just like this picture over here. It's pretty cool looking. They're basically angels, really, but however, they do different jobs than what angels do. But however, I'm trying to make comparisons. Oh yeah, the other half of the people selected go to Freyja's afterlife field, Finir. Alright, next up is Fanidus of the Nordic Ascendant, also known as Freya. Okay, so who is Freya? She is the goddess associated with love, sexuality, beauty, fertility, gold, Seor, I have no idea what Seor is, war, and death. Freya is the owner of the necklace Gamin, rides a chariot pulled by two cats, keeps the boar, Hilda's Finir by her side, and possesses a cloak of falcon feathers. Something about that cloak actually makes the person invisible, which is pretty cool. And she's always, well, she tries to be always by her husband Or. She's the mother of two daughters, Hinos and Jursemi, along with her brother Freyr, Odin Norse for the Lord, her father Nizor, and her mother, who is unnamed. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, her mother and her sister is unnamed. Okay. No, her mother is Nizor's sisters. I misread that. Sorry about that, guys. She is a member of the Finir, stemming from Old Norse Freya. Modern forms of the name include Freya, Freyja, Freya, that. Basically all different variations of Freya and how to spell it. She rules over the heavenly afterlife field of Finir. I'm pretty sure I said that last time. And there receives half of those that die in battle, whereas the other half go to Odin's Valhalla. Within Finir, why do I keep mispronouncing that? Is her hall Zesrumnir. Lots of Nirs in Norse mythology. Freya assists other deities by allowing them to use her feathered cloak and is involved in matters of fertility and love, and is frequently sought after by powerful Jotnar who wished to make her their wife. Freya's husband, the god Or, is frequently absent. She cries tears of red gold for him and searches for him under assumed names. Freya has numerous names, including Geffen, Horn, Mardal, Seer, Freyja, and Fanidus. As he's mentioned in the Poetic Edda, which is commonly referred to as it's a book or something. Now, actually, I think I'm misremembering things about her cloak of falcon feathers. I think it makes people invisible, can't remember exactly. Now, something I like about this is that they reference the, crying red gold, and that her eyes in the Yu-Gi-Oh card art is red, like crimson red. Something that is pretty cool. Also, you'll notice that she does kind of look like a Valkyrie. She has some stuff to do with them, but not entirely. I think this is supposed to be her right here. Now, all that being said, she's definitely one of the more interesting gods. She kind of just, she's kind of like the opposite of Odin. What is this? The Finir is a metal or field ruled by the goddess Freya, where half of those who die in combat will go to here. Finir is attested. So, what's the difference between this and Valhalla? I don't get it. Anyways, next up is Gullfax of the Nordic beasts. Goldfax is sadly the only tuner for the Nordic beasts, but however, he is really, really awesome. Now, basically, what is Goldfax in Norse mythology? Well, sadly, there's not much to say about him. He was originally owned by Hrungnir, and oh, by the way, in Norse mythology, he was referred to as Goldfaxi, and which means golden mane. It was originally owned by Hrungnir and was later given to Magni by Thor as a reward for lifting off the leg of Hrungnir, which lay over the unconscious Thor and strangled him. And then it has a quote or something. Goldfax is equally fast on land, in the air, and on the water, but not quite as fast as Sleipnir, Odin's horse. Next up is Tanjostir and Tangrisnir. Now, I'm putting these together because the Wikipedia article has them together as well. Tangrisnir, which is Old Norse for teeth bearer, snarler, and Tanjostir, which is Old Norse for teeth grinder, are the go-to Polda god Thors Chariot in Norse mythology. Basically, yeah, that's just that they pulled Thor's Chariot. Not much else to say about them. That being said, though, you can obviously see the references to their names in the card art and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. I like how the guy who makes the card art, Kazuki Takahashi, he tries to references the lore and stuff in the art. Next up, and I'm only doing one Nordic relic because there's a whole bunch of them and there's really not much to say about them. The first and only one I'm doing is Nordic relic Gungnir. Gungnir is Odin's Spear. Think of it kind of like Zeus's spear from Greek mythology. Not much else to say about it. I think it can shoot like lightning and stuff. And again, there's not much really to say about it. Okay, so now we're getting under the big bosses, the gods of the Aesir. Thor, the god of thunder and oak trees, and protector of earth. Yep, that's right. Thor is the god of thunder, oak trees, and the protector of earth. His hammer, Mjolnir, let's see here, is a hammer-wielding god associated with thunder, lightning, storms, oak trees, strength, the protection of mankind, and also howling, healing, and fertility. The cognate deity in wider German mythology and paganism was known as Punor, and in Old High German as Donar, stemming from a common Germanic bunraz, meaning thunder. Basically, he is one of the more well-known gods. I mean, I think most people who know of Thor is people who know him from the Marvel comics, who made him as kind of one of the most well-known superheroes. But however, in Norse mythology, he is largely recorded in Iceland from traditional materials, starting from Scandinavian. About 4 indie sources, Thor bears at least 14 names and is the husband of the golden-haired goddess Sif, is the lover of the Jotun Jarn Saxax. I'm messing that name up, and I'm only messing it up worse. It is typically described as a fierce-eyed, red-haired, and red-bearded, with Sif Thor, father the goddess of possible Valkyrie, Brewer, with John Saxa, he fathered Magni, with a mother whose name is not recorded, he fathered Moe? Nordic, and he is the stepfather of the god Or. Same source lists Thor as the son of the god Odin and the personified earth, Fjorgen. And by way of Odin, Thor has numerous brothers. Thor has 2 servants, Pidjafli and Rusk, rides in a cart or chariot pulled by 2 goats, Tangrisnir and Tanjostir, that he eats and resurrects. Oh wow, I did not know that. And is described 3 dwellings, Blisknir, Blurheimer, and Brofengir. I am terribly sorry for butchering these names. Thor wields the mountain-crushing hammer Mjolnir. I've never heard anybody describe it as mountain-crushing, but that is awesome. Wears the belt Meginjoror and the iron gloves Jorgrepnir, and owns the staff Griovor. Thor's exploits, including his relentless slaughter of his foes and fierce battles with the monstrous serpent Ermengarde, and their foretold mutual deaths during the events of Ragnarok are recorded throughout sources for Norse mythology. In short, this god is awesome. So yeah, that is basically Thor in a nutshell. God of thunder, oak trees, and protector of mankind, has a lot of kids and a lot of brothers, and son of Odin. Next up is his brother Loki, also well, half brother really. Again, another Norse god that has been made well known by Marvel in their comics and movies. I mean, like really, I don't think very many people knew much about Norse mythology until Marvel came around. And Marvel stuck pretty close to the series, although they kind of made them into aliens and stuff. Why did I say series? I meant to say uh, lore. uh, anyway, so yeah. Now then, who is Loki? Well, he is a god of Jot. Okay. In Norse mythology, Loki, Loptir, or Hringar is a god or Jotun or both. Loki is the son of Farbotir and Lofri, and the brother of Hellbinder, and by the steer by the Jotun Arngrimbora. Loki is the father of Hel, the wolf Finir, and the world serpent Ermengarde by his wife singing. Loki is the father of Narfi and or Nari by the stallion Sefoliari. Loki is the mother, what? Giving birth in the form of a mare, okay, to the eight-legged horse Sleipnir. In addition, Loki is referred to as the father of Folly in the Prose Edda. Loki's relation with the gods vary by source. Loki sometimes assists the gods and sometimes behaves in a malicious manner towards them. Loki is a shapeshifter, and in separate incidents he appears in the form of a salmon, a mare, a seal, a fly, and possibly an elderly woman named Bok. Old Norse for thanks. Loki's positive relations with the gods, and with his role in engineering the death of the god Baldur, and Loki is eventually bound by the gods with the entrails of one of his sons. In both the poetic Edda and Prose Edda, the goddess Yugioh is responsible for placing a serpent above him while he is bound. The serpent drips venom from him that Satan collects into a bowl. However, she must empty the bowl when it is full and the venom drips above. In the meantime, causing Loki to writhe in pain, thereby causing earthquakes. With the onset of Ragnarok, Loki is foretold to slip free from his bounds and to fight against the gods and the forces of Jotnar, at which he will encounter the god Heimdall, and the two will slay each other. Yeah, he's also known as the god of trickery, mischief, and various other things. And you'll notice that I kind of like said something about him being the brother of Loki. Of Thor. Yeah, that is not an actual thing in Norse mythology, or at least to my knowledge, that's something that Marvel did. But however, with that being said, the two do know each other in Norse mythology, obviously. But however, they're not brothers, or at least to my knowledge. I don't know, maybe somebody who knows more. I mean, I've read up a lot, but I don't know everything. Alrighty, and then Odin, Big Boss Odin, the man with one eye, who wields Gungnir. Alrighty. In Germanic mythology, Odin, from Old Norse Odin, is a widely attested god. In Old Norse sources, whence most surviving information about the god stems, Odin is associated with healing, death, royalty, the gallows, knowledge, battle, sorcery, poetry, frenzy, and the runic alphabet. It is the husband of the goddess Freyja. In wider Germanic mythology and paganism, Odin was associated in Old English as Woden, in Old Saxon as Woden, blah blah blah, but so basically a bunch of different names. Odin is prominently mentioned throughout the recorded history of Germanic peoples. For no blah blah blah. In Old Norse texts, Odin is given primacy over female beings associated with the battle, the Valkyries, and himself oversees the afterlife location Valhalla, where he receives as Efizard Ein Hervjar. I've sort of tried saying this word so many times. Or chosen warriors. Half of those who die in battle, while the other half go to Freyja. Odin consults the disembodied herd-involved head, otherwise being Mimir, for advice. Oh wow, Mimir's just disembodied head. I thought about doing Mimir as well for this video, but I decided to skip him since he's a terrible card. But wow, he's a disembodied head in Nordic mythology. And during the foretold events of Ragnarok will lead the Ifenjar into battle before being consumed by the monstrous wolf Finir. In later folklore, Odin appears as a leader of the wild hunt, a ghostly procession of the dead through the winter sky. In the surviving South Germanic and Anglo-Saxon texts, Odin is also particularly associated with magic. Odin has been a frequent study of blah, 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 blah. Basically, he is the big boss of the Norse mythology gods. He is he's basically Zeus. There's really not much else to say about him. He is the father of Thor and many other gods. And you notice he actually is missing an eye. That has to do with I forgot exactly what. Sorry, it's been a while. But I know his eye was taken out at one point or another, and he has been looking for it. And actually, Odin's eye is actually a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That lets you kind of look at your opponent's hand, which kind of refers to what Odin's eye allows him to do, which allows him to see the future and stuff. Or at least I know that's part of it. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, guys. So, thank you all for watching. Tell me what you thought. I know I kind of messed up on some things, but this has been a long video and my brain is fried. So tell me what you guys want me to do next. I'm thinking about doing the Egyptian God cards next for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card lore. And again, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. See you later. Peace out.